What are you doing? You don't make for us to go poop. You need to sit outside and you know it.
All right, all. Welcome to Movement Yoga Morning. My name is Mark Cormier. I'm practicing with Kathy Cormier this morning. Should be up momentarily. If you have anything you'd like to see in our morning yoga video, please put it in the comment section. If we don't get to it this week, we'll get to it some week soon. For those of you celebrating Hanukkah, happy 8th night, I believe. And those of you celebrating Christmas, it's almost upon us, so get those gifts in the mail. A reminder to myself. Anyway, Kathy, are you ready? Come on up. Should I move the camera back just a tad, or does that look good?
I'm good.
All right. Welcome.
Welcome.
How are you this morning?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Excellent. So let's start by bringing hands on hips, and as we often do, just marching it from side to side.
I think we might have special guests today.
And we may have a special guest, and there she is. This is important stuff, just like that monkey. Now balancing on one foot as we kick it off to each side. Could be a low kick, could be a high kick. doing what feels right and good for your legs, your hips, your balance. Now back to the earth as we rock it from side to side. And then finding your center. Rocking heels, toes, so lifting the heels, lifting the toes, just back and forth. I'd like you to notice the articulation of the foot as you pick it up and lay it on down. Next time those heels are lifted, holding the heels up, because you lift up just a little higher, and higher, and higher. Articulating the foot as you lay it on down and lifting up those toes. So you spread those toes a little wider. And then laying the toes down one at a time if you can. From our feet finding our legs, from our legs finding our spine. Relax shoulders. I'll invite you to bring one hand onto your heart, the other hand on top. A soft tuck of the chin. I'll invite you to set an intention for this practice. It could be something you're thinking about, something you're moving towards. It could be as simple as you're perfect, just as you are. With hands on heart, let's work with our breath as we start to find a longer inhalation, followed by a longer exhalation. I'll invite you to find a full body breath, bringing the air to the top of your chest, the base of your belly, filling up each side waist, filling up both front and back planes of your body. As you breathe out, I'll invite you to engage your core as you draw the low belly in and up, concurrently lifting the kidneys in and up, squeezing a little more air out. Most importantly, with that core engagement on the exhalation, providing structural support for your low back as we move through these shapes and sequences. To this deeper, fuller breath, finding the Ujjayi breath, the victorious breath. It's a power breath. It's a go-to breath in many flow practices. It's also a heating breath. Slightly, oh, God bless you. Slightly constricting the base of your throat, adding a slight sound and feel to your breath. And as we flow through our practice this morning, letting the sound and feel of your breath be a focus for your practice. The sound of which is often compared to the sounds of the ocean as the waves wash in and out. Now taking the tip of your tongue to the hard palate just behind your teeth, keeping that tongue to hard palate connection throughout the practice, keeping our jaws relaxed and connecting front and back planes of our bodies. Finally, with your lips closed, adding a slight smile to your face. A Mona Lisa smile, opening up the front of your throat so your breath has lots of room to circulate, refresh, and revitalize. Keeping all this, I'm inviting you to roll your hands over as you stretch out your wrists, hands by your side. So a little more joint work before we start to move towards a sun cell. Hands find the hips, grinding down through a set of toes as we circle the ankle, the knee, and the hip. Now taking those circles the other way. Rounding down through that foot, other set of toes as we circle the ankle, the knee, and the hip. And then taking those circles the other way. Now grounded down through 2 feet, we'll bring the knees right together. We'll come down and cap the knees with the hands. And just circling those knees. Taking those knee circles the other way. Now coming on up, don't think too much about it as you step your feet hip-width apart. I'll invite you to look down at your toes. Most of us have a little bit of a turnout. That's your natural stance. Working with your natural stance. Hands find the back of the hips as we circle those hips. And then taking those hip circles the other way. Coming back center. One hand on one shoulder, hand on the other shoulder, circling those shoulders. Circling those shoulders the other way. Coming back to center, switching the cross of the arms. Circling the first way. Say 2 or 3 times. And then taking those circles the other way. Coming back center, hands by your side, one hand high. We'll take a side bend towards the low hand as we jut that chip out, shifting weight into far foot. Inhaling through center, second side. And just back and forth between the sides. So good for our low back. When you're on one side or the other, we'll hold that shape. Could you jet that hip out a little further? Could you shift the weight a little farther? Back to center, second side. Holding, could you jut that hip out a little farther? Could you shift the weight a little further? And then back to center. Two arms in the air like you either do or don't care. Thumb and forefinger of one hand, catch the wrist of the other. We'll start to traction that far shoulder, and then starting to circle the shoulders as we circle the hips the other way. Don't think too much about it, circling those circles the other way. Now coming back center, other thumb and forefinger, catch the other wrist, traction in that far shoulder, and then starting to circle the shoulders one way as we circle the hips the other. Don't think too much about it. We'll take those circles the other way. Coming back to center, hands by our side. Releasing and relaxing any tension on our shoulders as we inhale the shoulders up towards the ears. On the exhale, just let them drop. Let that exhale come out through the mouth. And here we go. Let's do two more. Keeping the shoulders heavy, looking up and looking down as we stretch out our neck. The next time you're looking up, I'll invite you to hold that, taking it a little further as we find a little more stretch in the base of our throat. Now lifting the head to tuck the chin, holding that, taking it a little bit further as we stretch out the back of our neck. And then back to center. As I throw a ball on either side of the neck, shoulders stay just as they are as we tilt the head one way up and over those balls, and then the other. And just back and forth. Next time you're on one side or the other, holding that tilt, keeping that far shoulder heavy. Could you tilt just a little bit more? Back through center, second side, holding that tilt. Could you hold that tilt just a little bit more? And then back to center. Thumbs on the shoulders, they're just placeholders as we jut the chin out and draw the chin back. Just back and forth. I'll invite you to notice the energetic origin of the neck. The energy neck's a lot longer than the neck looks in a mirror. Somewhere between the two shoulder blades. Next time you jut that chin out, holding, could you jut a little further? Now drawing that chin back and holding, could you draw it back a little further? And then back to center. Hands by our side. Quick posture check here. Index fingers touch the ears. Thumbs touch the shoulders. Hands touch the hips. Fingers stretch down towards the heels. Taking it in segments. Ears over shoulders. Ears and shoulders over hips. Ears, shoulders, hips over heels as we stand tall. Working with our jaw, we just rock it front to back. The only free-floating bone in our bodies. And rocking it side to side. Now rocking it back center. I'll ask you to face sideways, Kath, as we move towards our sun sal here. Finding either your natural stance or narrowing your stance to challenge your balance. The tightest you go will be right together. You might have to squeeze a dog to do that this morning. Silly. Her name's Savannah. All right, we love her a lot. All right, here we go. Starting with arms and shoulders. Arms out to the side and then overhead, inhaling. Exhaling, hands back down. Let's do that 2 more times, observing the natural rhythm of the shoulders, inhaling, arms up.
Excuse me.
God bless you. Exhaling, arms down. 1 more time, breathing in, lifting up. Exhaling, hands down. Now finding a forward fold, feel free to grab a brick or not. Inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, finding your forward fold. Let an inhale, lift chin and tail as we arc the back. Now tucking the tail, tucking the chin, really rounded in as you stretch out your spine. Inhaling, arms out to the side, moving towards a neutral spine, back of the head in line with the sacrum. And then hands back down. Let's find that half sun style 2 more times. Breathing in, lifting up. Exhaling, leading with the heart as you fold. Let an inhale lift chin and tail. And then tucking the tail, tucking the chin as we round it in. Inhaling, finding your neutral spine, leading with back heart, arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, standing tall. And let's do one more half sun style here. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, leading with the heart as you fold. Let an inhale lift chin and tail as we arc the back. Tucking tail and chin as we round it on in, stretching out our spine. Inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, standing tall. I'll cue you back to down dog. Inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, leading with your heart as you fold. Let an inhale lift chin and tail. And then folding it in, stretching out your spine as you ground down through the hands, stepping one foot back and then the other, finding your down dog shape. As we hold this down dog, I'll invite you to hold it in stillness. Long arms, long legs. If you want to rest your forehead on the brick, that's an awesome option if you did want to do that. Just make sure the brick's comfortable. Yeah. Letting that press of your forehead into the brick. Relax the back of your head, your neck and your shoulders. And if it's not comfortable, of course, don't do it. As we hold this down dog, despite the lack of relative motion, you're still breathing, your heart's still beating, your mind's still moving. And by focusing on your breath as it flows in and out, finding a little more space between each breath, each beat of the heart, each thought. Long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth breath out. As goes the breath, so goes the mind. Tail end of that breath, bending your knees ever so slightly, lifting the tailbone just a little bit higher, sure, get rid of that brick. And then looking between the hands as you step or jump or slide it to the front of your mat, or front of your space. Let an inhale bring length when you arrive. Exhaling, folding it in. Inhaling, hands over head pose, arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, standing tall. I'll cue you back to plank pose. Inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, finding your forward fold. Letting an inhale bring length as you lift chin and tail. And now tucking the tail, tucking the chin as you ground down through the hands, finding your plank pose. Feeling that connection between head, hips, and heels. Feeling that connection, that line of strength running through the center of yourself. A line of strength that supports your intention. Despite the effort of the action, an easeful quality to your breath. One of the elements that makes it yoga. Long, smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. Tail end of that breath, hugging navel to spine as you lift the hips high, back to your down dog. I'll invite you to walk this dog as you bend one leg deeply and then the other, grounding down through the opposite heel. And then freely moving back and forth between the sides, stretching it out. Finding that mind-body connection that's always there. What do you feel? And where do you feel it? From this place of movement back towards stillness. Long arms, long legs, long spine. Deep, full breath. Tail end of that breath, bending your knees ever so slightly, lifting the tailbone just a little bit higher. And then looking between the hands as you step. Or jump it front. Oh, you're going to jump into a dog. Let an inhale bring length when you arrive. Yeah, you don't want to come up. You want to set the spine first. And then you're going to fold again. So you want to find that neutral spine, then you fold again. Actually, you want to arc the back. So let's work that again. So hands cap the top of the knees. Feel that dipping back hard. Now you're going to puff back hard as you round the back. And now you're going to find your neutral spine. Arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, standing tall. I'll ask you to face camera again, Kathy. One hand finds the heart, the other hand on top. I'll invite you to come back to your breath and come back to your intention. Now thumb and forefingers. Now all the fingers connect as we lightly touch our thumbs to our heart. I'll invite you to take that intention from your heart up towards your forehead. Your intention is in your thoughts today. Thumbs find the lips. Your intention is in your words. Bringing those thumbs back to your heart. Your intention is in your deeds. Now rolling those hands over, stretching out those wrists, hands by your side. I'll invite you to bring one hand on the belly, the other hand on top, and bowing as you thank yourself for practicing and offering our practice out to each other and to the world. The light within me honors and respects the light within you. And in this light, we are one. Namaste.
Namaste.
And as always, namaste. Have a nice day. Thank you all. Thank you, Kathy.
You. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day. We'll see you soon.